Hi, Tom Norton here. Welcome again to English Trainer for Pros, a conference interpreter's approach to advanced English training. In the last video, this series of videos on building a professional vocabulary, I spoke with you about the importance of turning on your radar and focusing on what I call orbit words. These are words that float around our day-to-day lives. English words that you hear all the time, you may read them all the time, but you don't use them. Probably because of one of three reasons. You don't understand what the word means, you don't know for certain how to pronounce it, or you may not know how to use it properly in a sentence. Those are called orbit words. And what we're going to do in this video is we're going to focus on building a word list. A word list, not any word list, an orbit word list. So you're paying attention, you're noticing these words, and what we're going to do now is bring them down to where they're on paper. We interpreters make lots of lists, and the way we do that is by paying attention to the words that are around us. Same goes for you in building your word list. The most valuable list you can build is one you build yourself for yourself. I'll give you an example of what I mean. These are the notebooks filled with words, notebooks that I've used in the last 18 months. Interpreters always carry a notebook. This is what I carry. It's a reporter's notebook. I like the size of it because it fits easily in my pocket. Many of my colleagues prefer a stenographer's pad, which is a little wider and has a line already down the middle. Doesn't matter what you use, but I encourage you to find a notebook you like and begin when you take those 3 to 5 minutes every day to pay attention, to turn your radar on and to watch and to listen for orbit words. Write them down. The advantage of that is that you end up with a list like this. These are 5 words that I jotted down recently in a meeting that I was interpreting. It was about banking and finance. And I just want you to see the types of words I write down. Tail risk, fat tail, deleveraging, balkanization, regulatory certainty, or if you're British, regulatory certainty. Either one of those is okay, regulatory or regulatory. Okay? And these are words that I wrote down that I will then explore so that they can come down and become part of my working vocabulary. Another example, I have a client who offers me often the wonderful opportunity to interpret conventions about coffee. Can you imagine a better job than that? But even in coffee, a subject I know and love, there are many words that are orbit words. And so again, I pull my notebook out and I'm jotting them down. Aftertaste, mouthfeel, to brew, coffee grounds. Now, sometimes it's an orbit word for me, not because I don't know it in English, but because I'm not as comfortable with this word in the non-native language, Spanish or Portuguese in my case. So I know what aftertaste is in English, of course. But how about in Portuguese? What will aftertaste be? Or in Spanish? To brew. I know what to brew coffee means in English, but how do Spanish-speaking people talk about brewing coffee? So it goes down into the notebook and becomes an orbit word that I will then research. I don't call it research, I call it exploring the word. For example, there's a verb there, to cup. Do you know what it means to cup in coffee? It's a very specific and very technical procedure. And the person who does it is called a coffee cupper. Now, I'm not going to explain to you what it means to cup, but I want to encourage you to do some exploration. Google, what does it mean to cup coffee? Or go to YouTube and just type in the search bar, what does it mean to cup coffee? And you'll probably see some videos that will teach you very quickly what this fascinating thing is called cupping coffee. I encourage you to do some exploration on your own. And once you have the words in your notebook, I want to encourage you to take one more step, and that is to enter them into an Excel sheet or a word table. Now, what you can see here is a template that I use. This is an Excel sheet template. And in the left-hand corner, I have already put in the very same finance words that we saw earlier. Tail risk, fat tail, deleveraging, balkanization, and regulatory certainty. That goes in the left-hand column. In the right-hand column will go any information that you generate in your exploration of the word that will help you bring that word out of orbit and down into your working vocabulary. Okay? I'm providing you the Excel sheet template, or this is the word table. Works just as well. There are links below this video in the description section where you can have access, free access to these templates and put them to work immediately. That's basically it. I want you to, what we're talking about is this 3 to 5 minute habit, right? I want you to get into the habit. The habit begins by turning on your radar and spotting those orbit words. Then you write them down, grab them out of the sky and put them on paper, and then take the step of entering them into the Excel sheet or the word table. An important step, because down the road here in a few videos, I'm going to show you how to take what you have entered into the Excel sheet or the word table and upload it into some software that is going to dramatically speed up the process of getting you familiar with those words. Okay? So these are all important steps. Turn on your radar, write down every orbit word, and transfer your word list into an Excel sheet or a word table. All right, that's it for now. Please like the video, comment, leave comments. If you have any recommendations on things that you would like to hear me address, I'm happy to do so. Share the video with friends of yours who are non-native English speakers. And please subscribe to my channel. There are many more great videos about advanced English where this one came from. I will see you soon.